I had a huge secret that I, as an adult, plan to take to the grave with me. I mean, I had something I didn't tell a soul. And it wasn't until I was maybe 10 years ago, somebody asked me this question and they said, hey, so you say you would die for your kids, but would you change for them? And I was like, oh, I don't like that question.
Wow.
So many kinds of don't like that question. I didn't sleep well for a while. It was stirring.
Ooh.
I was starting to realize, I didn't tell my husband my secret.
Hey ladies, welcome to another episode of the Front Burner Podcast, where we help mamas take their dreams, passions, and side hustles off the back burner, put them on the front burner, make money, and manage their households. I'm Nikki Willis, a Christ follower, wife, mom of 3, and an entrepreneur who started with nothing but my kids' toys and turned it into a 6-figure business. I'm a self-proclaimed anti-supermom, and each week I'll challenge you with my stories, tips, hacks, and a little bit of humor to make sure you put yourself on the front burner. Why? Because the world needs what you've got cooking. So honey, this is officially part of your me time regimen. Relax, listen up, and let's get started.
Hello, everyone. Nikki Willis here with another episode of the Front Burner Podcast. Hey, I hope you've been having a great week, and some of you guys are still on lockdown. Many of us have been shut down for 3 weeks or more. I want to encourage you, hang in there, okay? Make sure you are refreshing and recharging yourself. Make sure you have a schedule going. That'll kind of keep you moving, keep you going, right? Also, I do have this merch, the Front Burner Tribe t-shirt. You can go to nikkywillis.com/merch. Visit that page and you can get this shirt. You can get this mug, which is the anti-supermom mug. And it's all about not being super moms, just being great moms. Listen, we're not perfect, but we are juggling, we are managing, and we are making it work and making it happen for our households, our marriages, and our businesses. All right. So I am very excited because I have another special guest with me. And this, ladies, is Suzanne Carpenter, also known as Suz, because she said her friends call her Suz. So she's a part of the tribe now, ladies. So we're going to call her Suz. Suz Carpenter is in the house. Hey, Suz.
Hey. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to be here with the Olivia Pope business.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Yeah. When Suz and I connected, she had an amazing story. Suz, first, your business is called Carpenter 180. I want to let you ladies know right off the bat, you can find her on social media at Carpenter 1, and that's spelled out ONE 80, carpenter180.com. You can also find her on all social media at Carpenter180. All right. So go ahead. Well, wait till this interview is over. Wait till our chat is over and then go and find her. Okay. All this information will also be in my show notes. So you can take a look at that and see what this wonderful woman is about. And we're going to find out what she's about right now. So Suz, tell all the ladies about your business and how you help others.
Okay, sure. So basically, I clear up food confusion so that people can win at losing weight. So my name is Carpenter 180 for the company. And the reason is this: carpenters build things. That is also my last name. But carpenters build things by definition. And then 180 is a direction. So it's a 180-degree turn that we're looking to make in people's lifestyles. One intentional decision for each meal, each day, for 80 days in a row, because it takes like 66 days to create a habit. Mm-hmm. And once upon a time, I used to teach first grade. And so as a grown-up adult now, I have this superpower where once I understand science, I can break it down and explain it in a way that a first grader can understand it. So once I understood the base mechanics of food and I applied how people learn, I created the company of Carpenter 180. And my heart desire is to educate so that people can actually learn and feel empowered. And once you're empowered, you're inspired to go do it forever, because diet means it's not restricting, it's not taking away, even though that's the way we interpret it. It's actually a pattern of eating for man or mammal. And the reason I talk about helping others find food peace to win at losing weight is if we can figure out a pattern of eating that you can do when you're 70, but be doing it right now, then we know we've gotten somewhere. And that's kind of like the Mother Teresa complex I have, or that's the gifting that I want to give to the world.
Yes, that is so good. Okay, so I want to pinpoint something really quickly, ladies. Okay, so we're always talking about business here. Okay, give us one more time, and I'm going to show you guys something. Give us one more time what it is that you help people do. Say that sentence one more time.
I clear up food confusion so that you can win at losing weight.
Perfect. I clear up food confusion so that you can win at losing weight. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you haven't listened to my previous podcast, ladies, that's a perfect pitch right there. She gives you what she does so that you can win at losing weight. All right. She gives you what she does, and then she gives you the benefit. And we all want to lose weight, right? Well, not all. I know I want to at least keep it together. Okay.
Yes.
I need to keep it together. But I love how right then and there, you tell us what you're able to do, and then that benefit that you bring so that you can win at losing weight. It's that intangible piece, that benefit, not necessarily the features, but you give us the benefit. And I love that you as a businesswoman understood sharing that benefit clearly helps us to identify what you can and how you can help us. So sorry, I had to get off on a tangent there. But that was so good.
Thank you.
And last week I talked about the pitch and making sure that you're talking about benefits over features, right? There's tons of features that you have, and you'll get into that. But for us to really identify with what you're doing and say, I want what Suz has, you gave us the benefit. Okay. Go ahead.
Are you familiar with Story Brand? Have you ever heard of?
I haven't. Go ahead. What is that?
All right. So this would be a great other podcast for you to get involved in just listening to for business wise. But what they've done in terms of the pitch, he's helped us to understand that we, the business owner, are the guide in the story, and we're writing to the hero to solve their problem. And he goes, Donald Miller's the name of the owner of Story Brand. And he says, okay, so think about Star Wars. Luke Skywalker is the hero who has been on the hero's journey through the whole movie. And he has all these troubles and issues, and you don't know by the end of the movie, you don't know if he's going to fall apart or if he's going to win the day. And it wasn't until he got the guide that came in alongside him and filled in the gaps of what he didn't know, who held his hand, who encouraged him, who saw him through the battle. And it was the guide who was the constant. And so we business owners want to be the guide, the person who's already been through it, who's already done it, who can say, I've got you. I know how this is going to turn out. You just have got to trust me and stick with me. We don't want to be the hero in the story. The hero is one shot away from being a train wreck. So you want to be the guide.
Yes, that is so good. And you, as you're telling us about your business, I can already hear that's who you are. You are that guide, right? So this is awesome. Okay, so I'm excited. Okay, so how did you come up with this business? What's your life story? Now, of course, all of you want to know more about you. How did you come up with this?
Okay, so guess what, Nikki? I had a huge secret that I, as an adult, plan to take to the grave with me. I mean, I had something I didn't tell a soul. And it wasn't until I was maybe 10 years ago, somebody asked me this question and they said, hey, so you say you would die for your kids, but would you change for them? And I was like, oh, I don't like that question.
Wow.
So many kinds of don't like that question. I didn't sleep well for a while. It was stirring.
Ooh.
I was starting to realize, I didn't tell my husband my secret. I had an eating disorder. I had a raging eating disorder since like mid 13 through adulthood. And I would restrict, make these food rules because I didn't understand. And I was doing it because I was wanting to look and feel my very best.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to quiet that mean voice that told me every morning I wasn't enough and I didn't matter enough and that I didn't have what it takes. And I was trying to get that voice to stop talking. So I was controlling it with body. So the only thing I could control was the food. And then my lizard brain would take over and I would binge. And then I would over exercise as a way to outrun my fork. And I was in this terrible cycle where I was giving 100%, trying to make this life work. I was doing the best with what I had, but it wasn't getting me anywhere but shaky, tired, cranky, hungry, anxious, and the shame of the secret I had. So when I was asked that question, I realized if I didn't get me right, my two daughters were going to be using that same shame voice every morning in the mirror too. And they were going to duplicate what I was doing. And I wasn't willing to change for myself or get the help for myself or risk being able to change or not change. But I was when it was presented, would you do this for your daughters? So let me just fast forward to got the help. I got the missing pieces, the science that I needed. I needed a little more information. And then I never planned to really talk about this because I was so riddled in shame. This was the thing that was keeping me down. It was the weight on me. And once I spoke it out loud, all of a sudden, it's like the blinders came off and the imposter syndrome fell away and the playing small fell away. And I saw the niche. I saw that if I need this food information, if I needed this exercise information of just how to create a lifestyle, how many other people need it as well? And then I just started walking forward in answering, what does my person need? It was this quote by John Maxwell. Decide what it is you need most in your life and go do that.
Yes.
And that's the answer of what I did.
Wow. So, first of all, that was such a deep question. I would have been probably like laying awake at night like you did. I mean, like you said, I would die for my children, but the question was, would you change for them? Wow, that's such a self-reflective moment. My goodness.
That one still gives me chills.
It does. I got goosebumps when you said it. That's why I just say that again because it requires a lot of thought process to really think about that. Oh my gosh. So now you're in this place where you finally say it out loud, and that had to be so freeing.
Yes, but the moment right before it was so freeing, it was so completely terrifying. Nikki, I can remember the heat and the sweat coming off my body when I was trying to find, to pull the words out of my mouth. And I felt like my bones were going to fall out of my body.
Yeah.
And I had written this story inside my head of such shame that I thought I would be so unlovable and so unlikable. So yes, when I said it out loud, with understanding and encouragement and support and love, it took away so much weight.
Yeah.
And then I realized this is my life and this is my girl's life, and what others think or don't think about it is irrelevant because this feels so much better on the other side.
Yeah. We always make these crazy big stories. We let our imaginations run. Stuff that hasn't even happened yet. It's like, do it, but do it scared. And that whole notion of, okay, but what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if this happens? And it paralyzes you. to a point
Yes.
where it's like, okay, you know what? You have to just do it and do it scared. And like the impact that has had on your daughters, that has had, on other people and other women. That's incredible. And that all could have never happened if you would have just never made that step.
That's right. That's
My
right.
goodness. So how did your daughters react? How did your family react?
Oh, well, my daughters were younger at the time, so they didn't probably really understand what was going on. But now I can tell you that, like last night, okay, here's a great example of just finding food peace. My one daughter, my 13-year-old,
Yeah.
she had a couple of peanut butter cookies earlier in the night and then needed a bedtime snack. She made a snack that was 180 eating approved, protein, fat, and fiber. And she said, oh yeah, I just decided I already had my cookies earlier in the day. And it was kind of hard to choose this right now, but I knew I liked them and this would make me feel better. And that right there, that thought that she had, that she just verbalized to me, is an indicator of the impact that this has already had on our family, because food is neither good nor bad. Food eaten in excess is where we get in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
But what she was able to do was realize food didn't have a control over her. And
Yeah.
she had enough balance in her life to go, I had some, didn't mean I needed 12.
Right.
The 1.5 was fine. That was huge to me, to see the impact that it's had on the family.
That is so, so good. So what has, speaking of impact on your family, what has it been like running your business? What has that impact been on your family?
Okay. So one, this is the part I love. I'm 47 years old. And so,
You look good.
well, thank you.
Yes, Carpenter,
It's all this food I'm eating, I'm telling you. Now, I'll tell you one thing, the impact that it's had is they've seen their mother create something from nothing. They saw me go through a journey that was really self-discovery, and it was hard. Here I was a teacher and I was a stay-at-home mom. Then I started in direct sales and I kind of got my entrepreneur chops about me, but it wasn't quite my sweet spot. But I was definitely ooh, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
But then I had no business, but I was dreaming it and I was talking about it, and they heard that. And now they are seeing it to fruition, and they saw all the branding. They saw all the web design. They heard all the technology hiccups and hurdles that we had to go through. And they get to witness obstacles in front of me and me going around them. I got another obstacle. How am I going to get around this? And they've definitely seen me go through, I feel afraid, but that feeling's not the boss of me. I'm going to still show up and do this thing hard. And they've heard me say things like, the price to pay for a business that you want is how much uncomfortable can you endure? And some of those things that they've heard me struggle with to launch Carpenter 180 and to do it, and then the responsibility and the consistency, there's a lot of intangibles and tangibles that they've gotten to witness that I think has been kind of a accidental education that the family's gotten.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You could not have said it any better. All of my mompreneur friends, we talk about how those intangibles, when you're on a business call or you're, on a conference call, or you're packaging supplies, or, doing inventory, and your kids are right there in that room. Hearing that stuff. And, I said on another podcast, my youngest son is very entrepreneurial. So he wants to write books and things like that. So I said, well, okay, let's get started, because, he's seen, mom and dad doing this. Dad, wants to write, and mom is doing this. And, he sees also the struggle, your kids, like you said, they see the obstacles and how you go around them. That builds so much character. And even if they don't want to be entrepreneurs, right? They still see so much, so many lessons that they can take along with them.
And I think there's something to be said for their seeing something be created, something happening, rather than just dreaming and talking, but actually moving that ball forward. That does a lot for setting an expectation for them. You are meant to do stuff in this world, and you can.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. So tell tell me more about Carpenter 180. Break that down as far as how you, what you offer people and how you walk them through that journey.
Okay, yes. Okay, so there's three main arms to Carpenter 180. One that I love so much called Suz On Your Shoulder. And
Okay.
that's like 2-3 minute sound bites that comes to somebody's text message every single day. And it's a subscription, $15 a month. And it's teaching people what they need to know to get right so that they can get on track and have permanent results.
Good.
And I'm going to explain why this is the way it is in just a second. The second thing is what people know, your video courses. That's for the person who's like, I need more than these little sound bites that are kind of fun and awesome, but I need a little bit faster, a little bit more. I need a course. So that's your month-long courses. I call that the Food Peace University. And that's fun to me because I can build out, like my daughter and I are writing a course right now for mother-daughter on nutrition, not on weight loss, but on nutrition.
Ooh,
And I can, what's that?
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like there can also go husband and wife and raising kids things within the Food Peace University. The third arm is called Babysit My Plate. And this is based off of babysitter notes, but it's for the person who wants one-on-one, who's like,
Yes.
Can you help me with the groceries? Like, for real, can you help me figure out protein, fat, and fiber for breakfast, lunch, bridge, snack, and dinner? Can I text you restaurants that I'm going to when we're not in quarantine? Can you help me order? Like
Yes.
the person who wants access to me questions and you need to answer them one-on-one. So I wanted to be able to provide that as well.
Yeah.
But back to the reason I did this. Picture a time in your life when you took a big exam, SAT or a board exam, and you're sitting at your desk and you're like, I have so many books and so much stuff. I don't know what needs to get in my brain, and you're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Then you go take the test. The minute you get in your car afterwards, you forgot like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other part, picture is, and this is on education, picture when you were like in third grade and you were taking your multiplication backs, you were learning your 3s and your 4s,
Yes.
and you mastered them. Then all of a sudden you're doing your 9s and your 10s, mastering them, and your teacher pulls you back to the 3s and 4s again to reinforce.
Yes.
So I took how we learn and I broke SOS down into practical steps that's in a sequence of what you need to know in the right order. So we're beginning to get education, then we're getting results. And as you're getting results, then you're getting more of the why behind things. And then education is building so that it makes sense. Because if I sat here and gave you an hour of nutrition, you would remember the one thing that tugged on your heart. It'd probably be like, that girl had an eating disorder and now she doesn't. Like that'd probably be the only thing you'd remember.
Well,
so I built SOS so that I can really teach somebody what they need to know so they really understand it, because you were never meant to go back into high school and do it again. You were meant to take what you learned and go build a life. And that's what I want to do with Carpenter 180 is educate and inspire so you can go and do this forever. And we get to the end of dieting. We're not always restricting. We're not always thinking, oh, only part of my closet fits, or I only get to pack what fits, not what I want to wear. Or the one that kills me is the women that put off getting family pictures made until they get the weight off, or they stand in the back of the picture. Like they're missing out on moments. Like once I understood the basics so we could get away from fads, but we could get to just real food. And this is what we should have been taught in school. I can't stay quiet about it.
Yeah. That's so good. Wow. So I love these 3 arms, and we're going to kind of go back to, we're switching back to like the business level part. So you've got the 3 arms. How you're monetizing. This is awesome. So ladies, pay attention to this. She says she's got 3 arms. You've got the subscription piece, which is $15 a month. And that's just the everyday sound bites that you're putting in. Obviously you're getting in front of your audience every day. They get to see Suz, they get to hear Suz, and they get a sound bite of good information, of good content. Then you've got that second arm, which is the Suz On Your Shoulder. The Food Peace University.
That's the one. You got it.
Okay. So that one, that's the course. That's a little bit more expensive. That's kind of like the medium, like monetization piece, right? Okay. So then you've got the next piece. You said, hey, listen, we can babysit the plate here. I can go virtually, I guess, go with you to the grocery store. I can help you meal plan. I can help you, I can answer questions one-on-one. And here, this is where, guys, she, her time is very, very valuable. So
Mhm.
this is where she's going to charge the most. And this is why, because time is so, so valuable. You don't want to charge, very little for your time and for one-on-one. But
That's right.
you're making money with all three arms, and that is so super important. Very, very smart. We all applaud you. If
Oh, thank
I had
you.
a CEO audience, we'd be all applauding.
I have a mentor and she's very good with business. And she had said, as I was like mapping all this out, and she's like, okay, you want to make sure that when somebody's done with you, they have a way to still purchase from you.
Yeah.
So the way I see it is it's like a pendulum that, let's say somebody starts with SOS and they're like, man, I need accountability. I need to talk to her once a week. They might swing over to Babysit My Plate, or they
Yeah.
might finish Babysit My Plate because that's how they found me. But then they're like, I need to have her in my head. They'll swing back over to the subscription.
Good.
Likewise, somebody might find me from a course and go, I need one, or they might go, I need to just have her consistent. So I see this as a way that it can continually swing.
Absolutely.
And then with being able to have courses, you can continue to bring out new material.
So, so good. Suz, why don't you share with the ladies what you have for us?
Yes, I'm so excited. So I'm giving you 7 free days of SOS. So all you have to do is go to the website, sign up for your 7 free days,
Okay.
and then right away you'll get the first message from me. And I'm going to teach the high level principles of what you need to know just to get started. Like this will be enough to just get you on the road to success. I backfill it with emails as well with like simple grocery lists, not that 17-page one that none of us can deal with, but like the simple, if you can incorporate just some of these into your pantry and your refrigerator, you're going to start having the foods you need at home. Because really, to get started, we've got to be really granular and really basic. And that means we've got to get the right foods in the house that are going to nourish your body. The reason for that, I mean, there's the business level of I need to get my people success right away. And so even if you're just thinking you like this business model, start with the SOS, just a copycat, and tweak it toward your business in terms of I needed to provide ridiculous support so that people could win right out of the gate those first 7 days and create credibility.
Yep. Yes. Creating credibility. I love that. I love that. So, so again, guys, go. I'll have the link in the show notes. Don't even worry about that. But I also, again, I want you to follow Suz. Go to Carpenter One, and that's ONE80. Okay, she's on all social media platforms. You can follow her, Carpenter 180. You can also go to carpenter180.com to see more about what she has for food confusion and Food Peace University, and really living a healthy lifestyle, which I love. Suz, girl, do you have anything else that you want to share with us? This has been fantastic. I'm so excited.
I'll tell you what, the thing I want to share, whether it's business, it's that dream in your head, it's the thing you want to start, it's losing weight, whatever, it's just start. If you want to get to the front of the line, you have to get in the line. And even if you're listening to this right now and it's the middle of the day, start right now, not I'll wait until tomorrow, because that creates like a slight edge. It's really that defining moment of I'm going to make a small step forward every single day, starting this moment in whatever it is I need to do. And you just fail forward. You do it bad, perfect. Nobody's expecting perfection out of the gate. But just know that if you start now because you've got that stirring, you're going to be farther ahead tomorrow morning than you are this very moment. And consistency compounds. You just cannot imagine how far you can be a year from now than today. Baby steps over time make a tremendous difference.
So true. So true. Ladies, you heard it from Suz. Just get started. You can do it. Consistency counts. Consistency matters. Yes. All right. Wow. This has been awesome. Suz, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Oh,
so
I just love you. I just adore you.
Hey, listen, I love to have fun on my podcast. I'm sorry. I do. I love just meeting new people, meeting new mompreneurs. And ladies, that's what we do here. Okay. Front Burner Podcast is all about celebrating mompreneurs, finding out what amazing things you ladies are doing out there. Suz is one of them. Make sure you check her out at Carpenter One, and that's ONE80, Carpenter 180. Go to her website, carpenter180.com. Again, all this stuff will be in my show notes as well. I cannot wait to just hear more about what you've got going on, Suz. You're incredible. You're an incredible businesswoman. And again, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
All right, ladies. Well, that has been another Front Burner podcast. Again, if you want some merch while you're in the house, honey, listen, we are getting it together. So go ahead and get your merch now. Go ahead and get your coffee mug now. You can go ahead and drink out of your coffee mug right now. Let the kids know cereal for dinner and take your coffee mug and just relax sometimes. Sometimes you need to take a breather, but then you need to go ahead and get started. All right. Have a great week, ladies. And hey, I'll talk to you next week. Bye.